I have a small closet pantry that we have completely transformed. So first I emptied the whole thing and then I repainted it from soft beige to frost. And so now it is beautiful and white. I had a vision to put these decals on the back with accents of straw baskets to hold the food, not to completely decant, but to definitely have some beautiful accent in there. And so today I'm actually going to organize the pantry, put the food back in, and the big question is, are we going to see the beautiful decals in the back when I am done with this project? Oh, I'm kind of nervous. Here is the big mess of pantry all over my dining room. That's a lot of stuff that I'm going to want to put into my new beautiful pantry. And really, the inspiration was trying to create joy in every spot in the house. And I did have a viewer who said that she liked to see organizations of closet videos. So this was totally inspired by her. I got to thinking, and this is what I came up with. I'm going to start with what is easy, move on to what is hard. I'm going to find expired food. I'm going to be questioning family members to see, are you really going to eat this? It's been sitting here a long time. All of the hard decisions that go into reorganizing and decluttering a pantry. I think that this is a very hard declutter actually because there's a lot of guilt to throwing away food. Nobody wants to throw away food. Food that is open can't be donated. And, stuff that is expired makes you feel like, oh, I failed. And this is actually part of the reason I'm so glad that I'm doing this is I keep too much inventory in my pantry so that food gets lost and it's not put on a meal plan. And that is what I want to change. I'm not going to let this pantry get overstocked. That's one of the inspirations of having something beautiful on the back. Not only will it show as the pantry gets more empty, but it will actually discipline me to not keep so much food on hand that I can't keep track of it. And that's really how food goes to waste mostly. I mean, sometimes it's that we bought something somebody wanted to try, they didn't like it, it didn't work out. But most of the time, it's that it just gets lost in the shuffle. I have this problem in the refrigerator and freezer. I have been working so hard to improve that, but now I need to extend that and really get disciplined about seeing what I have in the pantry and the refrigerator and the freezer before I go shopping, seeing what I can buy that goes with the stuff I already have so that our stock is going down, and then being more intentional with what I purchase. Here I have my canisters for sugar and flour, and when we bought certain things, they didn't fit in the canisters, so we had them in bags separated. And so now I'm just combining those because they will all fit now. And I need to go through the pantry every once in a while and make sure this is what is happening. And often you don't do that until you're doing some huge declutter. So as I said, I'm starting with what is easy and moving on to what is harder. And I didn't put any decals on the top because I knew ahead of time that the canisters go up there and I wouldn't be able to see it. So I'm happy with that. And then I only went so far down the wall as well for the same reason, because I knew that things that aren't at eye level are going to be harder to see. And so this is a spare soup pot we rarely use because it is so big. And I also keep my cleaners on the bottom of the pantry, which honestly has been a game changer for me. I absolutely love having them there. I have one box of extra. I have one box of, this is the box of what we're currently using. And in a pantry, things tend to fall, crumbs and such. So I'm just getting that cleaned out before I refill it and put it away. I'm using the Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose cleaner called Rain. That's the scent, and it is my second favorite now. My first favorite being grass. Oh my goodness. Now, does it smell like rain? No. And does the grass smell like grass? No. But man, does it smell good. I don't know what it is, but it is really good. I have a label on the cleaners as well. So I'm thinking about buying some labels for my baskets so that I can let the family know what's in there. And you're going to see me kind of play with things. I try one thing, it doesn't work, and then I try something else. I love those videos that are known on TikTok and a lot of them are on YouTube, where they're restocking their pantry. First of all, they have like 500 granola bars, and I don't know who all is eating all of those granola bars, but it's super satisfying to watch them just have it all figured out and just bam, 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 put it away. And they have tons of the same thing they must buy in stock. I would love to know if they end up throwing a lot of that stuff away. Look at my granola bars. Wasn't that gorgeous? So again, I start out with this container. I think I end up moving to a different container. Maybe not. Maybe I don't. I've found that 7 granola bars fits in one row. If my Amazon store will be linked in the description box below if you want to see any of the things that I have purchased on Amazon. I've purchased a lot of this stuff on Amazon. I will say the straw baskets I found if you go to a TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshall's, Home Goods, they are way less expensive to get the baskets than going to definitely Michael's. Now, with Michael's, if you bought one basket a week, you could use the coupon. Usually there's a good coupon for one item that is full price. See, I don't have brackets on the sides. They're just in the middle. So I have to be careful what order I put things in. But I have found that Home Goods and TJ Maxx, Marshalls, that's where the least expensive baskets are. And I'm talking half. Like these baskets were like $10 and they were like $24 at Michael's. So it was ridiculous. And I was able to get one more basket. I stopped into Marshall's yesterday and I was like, man, they don't have much. I sure am glad I did the TJ Maxx Home Goods because this was a Marshall's Home Goods. Well, then I see this woman with a grocery cart and it is overflowing and stacked up with these exact baskets. And I thought, oh, okay, now I know why I couldn't find any. I did find one and I purchased it. It's still in my car. It has Easter stuff in it. So I'll be bringing that in today. But you are going to see me get this pantry completely organized. And the canned goods, I'm starting out putting them here in this basket and I end up changing that or at least putting the overflow can somewhere. But as I said, I am really working hard to reduce inventory and have what I am planning to eat for that week. And I know on an emergency situation, maybe I'll set up an emergency pantry at another time. It won't be in this particular spot because I don't want it to be overcrowded. Because as I said, then I just lose track of food and things end up expiring and getting thrown out. And I did find some things did get expired and I did have to throw them out. It kind of worked into my grand plan though because I was able to start out with a pantry that wasn't too full. So this is a container. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do this. This is my daughter Rachel's food. I do have to be careful with her. She is gluten-free, egg-free, gluten-free, egg-free, dairy-free. And so when it comes to like gluten-free flours and different things, she has a lot of anxiety over food because she's been so sick ever since she was about 9 years old. And so she definitely wants to see expiration dates. So when it comes to her flours and her baking goods, I don't decant those just for that. If I were to decant them, what I would do is put the whole package in the organizer. But I have found I'm not faithful to write expiration dates on the outside. I know you can do that. In fact, you can even use Sharpie and then remove it with nail polish remover to write it in again, or you can buy labels. I just am not faithful enough to it. And then if you buy a second bag, that's a different expiration date, so then I can't add them. Now this is a perfect example. I go back, I just put chia seeds right there. Those chia seeds are very expired, like a year expired. So later on, I will be taking that out once I realize that it is expired. I have found food to be pretty controversial here on my channel. I think I have heard other creators say the same thing. So I understand it is a very precious resource. And I definitely understand that not everybody in the world has what we have here in the United States. I lived 5.5-ish months in Nicaragua. I lived in a normal town. I wasn't in like an American quarter or anything like that. I definitely met people who were living on $2 a day or less, who were really struggling with food insecurity. I had men come. We had 3 trash days, and the men would come to eat out of the trash, and they were trying to beat the dogs there. So what I would do is, once we realized what was happening, of course, my food, leftover food or things that got thrown out were sitting in a bag for 2, 3 days before they went to the garbage. So I obviously didn't want anyone eating that. It was sitting out in the hot Nicaraguan sun. So what I started doing was bagging up leftovers in my refrigerator. Then on trash day, we would make up some sandwiches. We would put the leftover food in the very top of the trash so that they wouldn't get sick. It was in a Gladlock bag so that it was separated from any other trash. And it was still cold when it went out, so they could take that with them. And then my husband would bring out the sandwiches. And that's what we ended up doing because, oh goodness. And then, yes, are there people living on or at the dump? Definitely. So I understand what a precious resource it is. And I understand that food is very controversial. Nobody wants to see anybody wasting food. And so I just want you to know I'm not perfect. Do I waste food? Yes, I do. I do waste food. I do my best, and things just get away from me. So here on this shelf, I have big things like the Tostitos, the Skinny Pop, so that will hold like bigger snacks. Beside that, I have my condiments. And then beside that, I have like lemonade, iced tea, and hot cocoa. Another thing that is very controversial as you decant is recycling. And every area does their recycling a little bit different. In our area, we bring it all to our town dump. I do not have trash pickup provided by our town. I'm responsible to get it there myself. And so we have a trash person who comes and picks it up that I pay privately. And then we have been taking a lot of our recyclables to the dump. There's just a spot for each thing. When we buy things that are in cans or bottles, we pay an extra 5 cents at the register. And then if we return the bottles to the store or to a redemption center, we get that money back. And then any grocery bags that you get in a store, you pay 5 cents per bag as well. You do not get that money back for the bags, just the cans and bottles. And then for a while, they were doing this paper bag when you would throw stuff away, like for every bag of trash, you had to pay at the dump. That didn't go well. First of all, everybody was really upset about it. And I think people were kind of dumping in the woods, dumping on the side of the road. It just didn't work out well, so they stopped doing that. Every town has their own dump. We do not do county dumps. We're not, Yankee ingenuity and all the things. Everybody's kind of independent. So each town is independent. So I cannot bring my trash to another town. I have to bring it to my town. And I have to pay for a sticker that goes on my car yearly. Okay, back to the pantry. So down on the bottom, beside the iced tea and the lemonade and the hot cocoa, I put like maple syrup. I put chicken broth, so I'll put my stocks down there and maple syrup, the ones that don't go in the refrigerator. So I'm just kind of putting the overflow. I had some lentils and some beans in there, and Leo is a part of everything, and Yvonne's never far behind. So there they are, just kind of saying hello to you and giving you a little visit. I keep cat treats and bird food in these containers, and I put those on the floor. So that's a very easy place to organize because I already know that I am not going to have any decals there either. And so as I am organizing, I am really trying hard to avoid my birds because I really want to see them. And yeah, it was a little bit of a Tetris, but as I said before, I think it's just going to encourage me not to overstock the pantry because everything is looking so beautiful. And I am going to be painting out the trim and that door. But I was too excited to get the pantry done to stop and do that because it takes a few coats.
Your peanut butter is empty.
Yeah, it's
Oops, look.
yeah. I was.
Ooh, that smells good. Robin, should we keep this dehydrated vegetable soup that we never use?
I have other closets that I'm going to be doing this to as well. Both the girls' closets in the upstairs as well as my linen closet. And I'm also going to be doing, hopefully a Pinterest worthy, who knows, restyle of underneath our stairs going down to the basement where I actually have a pan rack. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you're subscribed to my channel so that YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. Here is the finished product. Let me know what you think of it in the comments section. Remember, as always, that God loves you and I love you too. And I can't wait to see you next time.